Yo, 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 we live on location. Me and the Blackest One back with a Tappin. This one is a conference finals edition. We got 4 teams left in the NBA, y'all. It's Minnesota on one side versus versus them Dallas Mavericks with Kyrie and Luka. Then on the other side in the East, we got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and them Celtics going against Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, and them Pacers. Last night,
Yeah.
the Mavs came out and made a statement on the Minnesota Timberwolves home court. Took game one. This was a close, competitive back and forth game. Tell me what you saw out there.
First of all, I got the Mavs this series. I'm gonna stick with my pick.
Oh, okay.
The winner of the Clippers and Mavs series, I feel, was gonna go to the championship. So I had the Mavs going into this series last night, and I think Kyrie came
Okay.
out very aggressive. I think he kept him in the game and so forth on, and Luka just finished it off for him. For the Minnesota Timberwolves. I
Wait,
feel
wait,
like,
wait, 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 wait. Speaking on what you did, I need your opinion on something. Speaking on what you just said, because we
yeah,
know Kyrie. Now, what's your take on the whole? Ant Edwards calling him out after the game. How much of an impact? I mean, we saw his interview with Charles and them after the game and
yeah.
everything. What did you think even before the interview and when you first heard Ant Edwards say that? What was your thought process like when you heard him say that about Kyrie?
When I first heard and said that, I was like, "Whoa, you poking the bear? You poking the big monster by calling him out." And what I seen from Kyrie, man, from the first quarter, it looked like he was motivated by it. He came out so aggressive.
Yeah,
He was looking for a shot. He was getting to the rim. He was doing everything, and I think that helped them not get the momentum that they needed to really finish them off. They had the lead most of the game still with that,
yeah,
but Kyrie's aggression, them first 3 quarters made them, made them be in the game the whole game. And Luca came to play at the
exactly.
end, and he finished it off at the end and got the win.
I'm like you, bro. We know Riri a little bit. And I'm like, when I saw that, and we all love Ant Edwards. And I still love the fact that he took the challenge like that and wasn't
Yeah.
ashamed or scared to call it out. While saying that though, like knowing that Kyrie is like, yo, I was like, oh man. And true to form, he came out first quarter, like you said, ultra aggressive. He took 9 shots in the first quarter. He hadn't taken 9 shots in the first half in like a few of these games. So like that
Yeah.
lets you know right there, like, okay, I heard what was said and like, you know what I'm saying? I'm game on. And like I loved even after the game the back and forth about it because it was like it was pure hoop. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
yeah, I heard him. It wasn't I didn't think it was disrespectful the way I felt like he a young dog and he going to get it. And
Yeah.
me as a OG dog or whatever you want to call Riri, like he had to respond and he did. So I
Yeah.
love that whole fact about the way that went down.
Yeah, he really motivated Kyrie, and you can see it from the first quarter on that he was motivated to get out there and really get some buckets up. Minnesota, I felt and Elvis got tired, and I don't know if it was from the
Exhausted.
emotion from Game 7. But one thing I can say about a player like Anthony Edwards, when you play defense and offense, you got to be in tremendous
Yes.
shape. You got to be in tremendous shape. Not saying
Hmm.
that he's not in shape, but it's a lot you got to do. You trying to lock down on defense and you trying to put buckets up on offense. You use a lot of energy to get there. And he got a little gas last night. Shout out to Daniels. Shout out to Nas. Nas and Daniels was doing their thing and keeping them afloat
Them boys
and
been
keeping
big
that
time.
game going, especially the first 3 quarters from Daniels, man. He had 19 and a half. He was doing his
Yeah.
thing. I think the Mavs came out and did what they did. They played defense. Luka and Kyrie led the charge. They was attacking, especially when Rudy wasn't in the game. They really was attacking that basket. I think they went like 6 for 25 from the 3-point line or something like that. So they
Yeah.
really wasn't hitting the open threes that they usually hit. So that tells you that they was really attacking that basket. I think they had like 62 points in the paint. or so forth. On the Minnesota side, I like Karl Anthony Towns. I like that he's a big man that can hit a three,
Young
but
fella
he
hooping.
has to take advantage of him being bigger than the person that's guarding him. He has to post
Most of the
up.
time,
He's
yeah.
he's the best post player in this series, and I didn't see one bucket that he got from the post. One thing that I like that he did the last two games of the Denver series when they won, when they switched Murray on him, he posted them up instantly and
Punish
when he
him.
got a
Yeah.
bucket. And that's what he gonna have to do this series. If he don't post up, it's gonna be scary for them playing against them Mavs, because now that's another weapon that a key weapon that you can use that you just not pulling out the holster.
So is that what, like, as far as like what Minnesota needs to do to get back in the series and win game two and even things up? Like, is that one of the things you would say definitely has happened, and him posting up on the mismatches?
Yeah, I feel like they're the bigger team. You got to dominate on the rebounds and you got to dominate in the paint. You got to take the ball to the hole. Even though they got shot blockers, you still got to put pressure on them and take the ball to the hole, because you're the bigger team. And if you're not doing that, I think they shot 49 threes last night. And that's a lot of threes when you're the bigger
It
team.
is.
You're the bigger team
Yeah.
over the other team. And like, I feel like they're a 3-point shooting team. Yeah, cut that down to 30. Take that other 20 that you shot and get more shots. Get more shots in the paint. Get more shots in the perimeter. And I think that's the reason that they kind of lost the team. But it's a fill-out game. It's a fill-out game for Minnesota. You just lost home court advantage that quick,
Yeah, that was big.
and now the pressure is really on you because you got to win game two.
And then I like that. I actually like that little wrinkle they do with the 4-5 pick and roll, and Cat get the lob for Rudy sometime. That play was
Oh,
working cool to me last night.
hey man, that lob that he threw to Rudy, man, that looked like
He
a
did it
guard and a
twice.
big man did that.
Yeah, like,
And Rudy style with one of them, he caught it with one hand and dunked it. I love that. That tell you how skilled Anthony Towns is. But him
and I
being
feel
on
like
the,
you could plug Nas Reed there too, and
you
that could,
definitely can.
whichever one of them can do that, can make that same play. So I
Yeah,
like that wrinkle for them.
he definitely talented enough to do it too. But I don't like Anthony Towns spending that much time on the perimeter. Like he
He
got
be
to
deep out there
he
too.
got to get
Like that one three he
to the
pulled.
basket. Yeah, he got to get to the basket. You got to post PJ Washington up. You know what I'm saying? You got to post these guys up.
Do you think at some point Dallas could get them to the point to where they force Minnesota to try and goes like maybe pull Rudy or one of the bigs out and play faster and insert like a Daniels at the 4 and push one a Nas or Carl to the 5? Do you think you could see that? Because you see the lineups Dallas sometimes roll out there. They got a lot of wings. They don't got true big men, true center. Like when they have Logic, they might have, PJ is not your traditional forward. Like, yeah, he'll
Yeah,
post up
he's
a
really a
guard or
3.
something, but he's
Yeah.
really not like he's a space. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
space big. So it's like they may be forced to try and combat that at some point. You think you can see that happening in this series?
I think if they do it, they playing into Dallas' hands. I feel like if they do that, they play
Right.
into Dallas' hands. I feel like the advantage that you had and the advantage that you had on most teams is that y'all are way bigger and y'all are athletic than most teams that you play. Nas Reed, even if you put Nas in, you still a bigger team than them. Kyle Anderson and Nas, like them are the guys I'm looking to step up. Mike Conley, this might not be his series. I think they're gonna have to play Kyle Anderson, and he's gonna have to step up a little bit more. But yeah, if you go small, you playing into their hands, and now they really gonna go to work because, like you seen last night, every time Rudy got out the game, they attacked the basket. It's not no coincidence that they went to the hole and got 62 points in the paint. They
And they
attacking.
get on that offensive glass when he out of there
Yeah,
too. Gafford getting putbacks and
yeah, so they attacking. So when you going small, they attacking. You had them last night. but you just didn't enforce your will on them as being the bigger and longer team. And I think they need to get back to that. They got to be the bigger, longer team, but pressure is on them. I feel like Minnesota was hyped last night. The arena, the crowd, it
The
looked
crowd was,
good.
yeah, the
Like
crowd was right.
I feel
Vibes
like
was right.
I feel like half of the world was watching that game last night just to see what was finna go on. And man, it was it. And Anthony Edwards didn't have a good game. So you got to account that back in, and hopefully, Minnesota, they look at the tape, they feel them out, and they see what's going on, and they switch it up for them.
No, I agree with you. Like, I feel like that game 7 and then the turnaround and Ant-Man having to hawk down Kyrie and being forced, especially with Kyrie coming out as aggressive as he did early. I think that kind of hurt him. That hurt the energy, him fighting over all of that and trying to hustle through that. And so that was the result. He had a tough game. You could visibly see him out on the court. He was gassed. They were talking about it on the broadcast, and you could just look and see it. Hands on his hips, and when they were going to the timeout, you could see he was tired as hell. But we all think he's going to bounce back. But my question to you is, does this series go 7 games, or is Dallas going to make short work? Or will Minnesota come back and make short work of Dallas, or do you see it going 7?
I see it going 6 or 7 games. If Minnesota lose game 2, it's done in probably 5. I think
big pressure in the next game
if
for them to
Minnesota, because that was a weird series. You couldn't tell last year. You couldn't tell me that Minnesota was going to go to Denver and win 3 games in Denver to win that series.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That was real
crazy.
different. And I if you told me that before
and
the
that's
series,
a hard atmosphere to go to.
I would have lost the house, the car, and the kids if you told me that at the beginning of the last series that's how they were going to win. But this they can't lose game 2. They got to show they will. And for Anthony Edwards, you got to be a leader. I know you're young and all that. You got to be a leader, and you know your body. You know you tired. You settling for a lot of jumpers. You got to make Karl Anthony Towns get on the box. You got to make him get on the box. You got to go through something else so you can kind of reserve that energy to give that energy to give it back later on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward because, man, even though they lost the game, Timberwolves was still in the game and they had a chance to win that game.
No, that was a great game.
It's not an ultimate failure, but they got to impose their will. Even though I'm going for Dallas, they got to really impose their will and how big they are and make them make a decision. Because if Karl Anthony Towns is on that block getting busy, you got to double team him. You got to figure something else out when you getting these guys switching on him and he's getting the rock. And then you got to make your shots. Well, who you going for, though, in this series?
I had Dallas. Winning the series. I think that star power of Kyrie and Luka is gonna prove to be too much, especially the way they starting off. Both of them 30+. You can't have that. Both of them had solid games. One was earlier, the other one was the closer. So it was like yin and yang. They did what they needed to do. But I hope it goes 6, 7 games just because me, selfishly, as a basketball fan, I want to see more games. And now we down to the point to where it's literally just one game here, one game there, then a couple nights it's going to be no game. It's like this the wackest part of the finals and the conference finals coming up.
It's scary hours here.
Yeah, right. So thank God we got the WNBA ramping up and getting in gear. But let's cross over to that. Let's cross over to the Eastern Conference to that Boston Indiana series, man. Right now, game 1 went down to Celtics. Ooh, they escaped by the hell they chin, bro. Overtime. It was a thriller. They won 133-128. Jaylen Brown hit the huge clutch 3 at the end of the 4th of regulation to send it into overtime. Tell me what you see in that game 1 and what you see in this series, Black.
Indiana had them. Costly turnovers, losing the ball at the end of the game. Rick Carlisle, he stepped
up. So Indiana lost it and Boston didn't win it?
Yeah, Indiana lost that game. Carlisle stepped up and said it was his fault that he didn't advance
He
the
did.
ball, but I don't think it was his fault. Them careless turnovers at the end of the game, just losing the ball with nobody touching you, like them turnovers. If they cut the turnovers down, they could have won the game. They stayed in the game and they took the lead at the end, but it was just careless turnovers that you just can't afford to have because every game count, every possession count in the playoffs, and you just can't turn the ball over. They got to play some good D to get them to turn the ball over, and some of them were just bouncing off the foot or just losing the ball. You just can't afford to do that especially when you playing a team like the Celtics with Tatum and Brown on that team doing what they do. I knew it was over once they went into overtime. Jaylen Brown, amazing shot, man. We're gonna see that shot on a bunch of commercials for years to come. You know what I'm saying? And but I think Indiana is in a good position. They didn't really do. If you look at it from Indiana, like, man, we had a chance to win, and they didn't do nothing but win the game on their home court like they supposed to. I'm looking forward
And they picked to win and all of that too.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to see if Indiana still keep that energy up next game. I think that game gave them some belief and like, hey, we can win some games and we maybe can beat them. The Celtics. I think the Celtics. I'm going for the Celtics. I think the Celtics are going to the championship. I just hate how many threes that they shoot so much. I feel like they need to attack a little bit more to the basket, get them in foul trouble, get them moving around, attack guys a little bit more instead of settling for a bunch of threes. I think Miles Turner he's in a good position. You know what I'm saying? With Hartford, he get a lot of open shots. He getting everything he want. I want to see the adjustments next series, but I got the Celtics winning this series, man. I think JT gonna do his thing, and I think they got a wake up call too. You know, they got past it by their chinny chin. You know what I'm saying? And
They
they won
won
the
that game
game.
they were supposed to lose. They
Yeah,
won
they
the
won the
game that they
game
were
they
literally
supposed to
supposed
lose,
to
and I
lose.
feel
So
like now it's like they had a bunch of days off. They only went 5 games in a series, so yeah, I think they ready to play now. So we're gonna see what it is. Hopefully they protect home, and we gonna move on.
yeah, I agree with you, bro. I feel like Boston can, they got the luxury now of saying like, okay, we could learn the lessons that you're supposed to lose in a loss. We can learn those lessons in the win because we got this win in this game, and we know we weren't supposed to win it. Like we know we weren't supposed to win this game, so now we can move forward with that energy, building on that, saying like, now we got to really do what we supposed to do. But you had Tatum get 36 and 12. JB got 26 and 7. Both of them had 3 steals, but the X factor, that boy Drew Holiday, Black. Drew Holiday showed up and showed out 28, 7, 8, and 3. This is the first time in history where 3 teammates had 25 plus and 3 steals in a playoff game. Like that was crazy. So like that's a bad game for them too. Like, think about that. That wasn't like their best performance because, like we just saying, they weren't supposed to win that game. So I'm with you though. I got Boston still winning the series, but like you brought up, man, I feel like Rick Carlisle is an underrated coach. I feel like he's amazing at making adjustments. His team has come out time and time again, game planned up, ready to go. They still don't have Benedict Mathurin, who like one of their best young players, and
Man,
they
yeah.
filled in the gaps. They lost, they traded away Buddy Hield, who could be huge for them. So I mean, Rick Carlisle is a great coach, and I'm definitely not counting them out. And I feel like it's gonna be a back and forth series. And of course, I'm going with Boston, but I think it's going to be more contested, like 6. I think it's going to be like a 6, 7 game series. Hopefully 7, but I definitely think it's going to be like at least a 6 game series out here with this team, with these 2 teams.
Yeah, shout out to Drew Holiday. One thing I loved about Drew Holiday, he was the guy out there really attacking the basket. He was going to the hole. He was getting
Yeah.
mid-range shots. He was attacking them guys to the basket, and that's what I loved about what he did the other night. He was playing D, but he was really attacking, posting up, fadeaways, layups. Like
Exactly.
Drew did his thing. He did his thing, and I'm with you with Carlisle, man. Carlisle is a mastermind over there. He's a
Yeah,
champion.
he do a hell of a job.
He knows what he's doing, and I'm looking for his adjustments and how it feel. One thing I noticed with the Celtics, the pace. They realize that Indiana pace is a fast pace, and you got to go up and down,
It's a
and you
real
got to
thing.
move. You got to move. Obi Toppin, I love Obi. I love how hard he play and all that, but you can't turn the ball over like that. Like, I think the biggest thing for Indiana is, man, they turned that ball over, and if they cut half of them turnovers down, they really would have won the game.
They good.
You know what I'm saying? They in a great position. They did that, and they had just cureless turnovers with just losing the ball and just that. And I hate that for them, because you work so hard to come in somewhere and just get you a win, and you don't get it. I hope it don't discourage them. I hope they continue to keep their pace and play hard. But I got the Celtics.
I'm with you on that, man. Let's move on. We got a little NBA news. You got some of the All NBA awards coming out. You got first team All NBA Black. You got the Joker, Nikola Jokic. You got SGA, Shea Gillis Alexander. You got Luka Doncic. Then you got Giannis, and you got Jason Tatum. Let's go to the second team.
Yeah, I
You
think that's a
got
perfect
Jalen
first team.
Brunson. Yeah, that's a solid five. That's a solid with some discrepancies. Some people said Brunson should have made it, but I'm not mad at it. Second team was Jalen Brunson. Second team was Jalen Brunson, Anthony Davis, KD, Anthony Edwards, Kawhi Leonard. That's a solid second group right there. Third team, D Book, Chef Curry, Tyrese Halliburton, LeBron James, Domantas Sabonis. So what you think of the three All NBA teams?
I think
you like everything, or should some be different, Black?
Yeah, I think Jaylen Brown. If I ain't gonna pick a bunch of people, but if I had to put somebody in that first team, I think Jaylen Brown deserved to be in that first team. I mean, not the first team, but
Are you saying
one of them teams? I don't want to say the first team, but I feel like Jaylen Brown need to be in one of them teams, man. The season that they had and how they played, and what him and Jason did, they should put two guys out. Nothing against the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing against the Lakers, but the Lakers put two guys in. But the wins that they had, them being the number one team in the NBA with the best record, I think they lost 14 or 15 games or something like that. Like, you gotta put two. You just gotta put two. And I'm not saying I don't want to kick nobody out or nothing like that, but I feel like Jaylen Brown should have made one of them teams.
I agree with you on that. Like you said, I'm not gonna call nobody out who come out. I just feel like he belonged, like you said, based on his individual stats and then their team stats. They basically dominated.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the all defensive teams. First team all defense in my Tony Allen voice. You got Bam Adebayo, you got AD Anthony Davis, you got Rudy Gobert to stifle, you got Herb Jones down there in New Orleans, and you got Wemby, rookie of the year on that first team all NBA, the first rookie ever on first team all defense.
Name that first team again.
Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, Herb Jones, and Victor Wembanyama.
Them all centers, ain't it?
Well, Herb Jones kind of like a hybrid. He could play like damn near 4-through-1 and some fives, like so. That's why he on there. But then let's look at the second team. You got Alex Caruso, locked down out there in Chi-Town. You got Drew Holiday, we know what he do. Jaden McDaniels, everybody is being introduced to what he do and who he is on a national level in these playoffs. Locked down. Derek White, we've been watching him do his thing, and we got City Beautiful Orlando Magic in the building. Our young fella Jalen Suggs on the list. Dean Downs, what's up?
Yeah, man. when I seen that list, man, shout out to Wemby, a rookie who made first team his
Straight
first year.
up. Straight
That's
up.
crazy. I'm surprised that
Never done before.
Dikembe didn't make it his first year. That when they
That
said he
lets you
was the
know how
first,
big that
but what
is.
I'm most excited for is Jalen Suggs, man. Shout out to
Yes,
Suggs,
sir.
man, doing his thing, playing D, being named to that team, man. That just shows what type of year that them guys had. And I'm glad that they acknowledge that what he's doing. Cause
Thank you.
you don't really hear them saying his name a lot, but he be out
And
there
he a young
playing hard
fella,
and he out
second
there,
year.
he accept the challenge. And I think that's dope that he made it. So shout out to Suggs, man.
Yes, sir. Salute the young Suns. Keep doing it, brother. First team next year.
Straight
All right,
up.
we got a little other going zones in the league, man. The Cavs literally just let go of Coach JB Bickerstaff today. Now it stands at 3 coaching vacancies are open right now in the league with the Lakers, the Cavs, and the Wizards. We gonna see. Heard JJ might be putting on a suit or something. So shout out to JJ if he get to do that. I know that's something you want to do. That'd be dope. Other news, Black.
Hold up,
This is this is
hold,
this is un.
hold on. I
Go
just want to
ahead. What you want to say?
Man, I feel bad, man. JB, he was my host at the University of Minnesota, man. And I just hate to see that they let him go because I just know how good of a dude and how good of a coach JB is, man. But I feel like he's gonna get another opportunity. So shout out to JB, man. That's my guy, man. I that's one of my memories when I was coming up, man. He being my host, and man, he was probably the best host I had when I took any of them college visits, even though I ain't go.
Okay, way to show him a good time, JB, because I ain't do nothing with him when he came to DePaul, JB. So way to hold it down and show him a good time. Because when he came to DePaul, we just chilled in the room, played video games, and went bowling
Straight
one
up.
time. That was it. All right, this news here saddens me, dog. Like for real, I hope something happens. But right now they saying it seems like inside the NBA inside the NBA on TNT is about to be ending officially after next season. It's supposed to be the next year, like for all of us, bro. Like that's the end of an era. And then the thing that makes it tough is like, 'cause, I'm part of the Turner family, being there, working there for years, and it's a ton of people up there, bro, that go into making everything happen. That if this comes to an end, could potentially be out of jobs and be searching for jobs in different places and things like that. So when you see something like that happen, and to know the Turner, it's truly like a family up there. So man, I hope that things change and it's some type of, Hail Mary at the end where they still be in play and still have everything going the same and it continues. But like definitely, man, if this comes to an end, man, it's like it's a part of something that we grew up and that while being grown ups, we continue to enjoy and rely on and be used to watching every week, every time the NBA is in play. So man, if it definitely comes to an end, man, super salute. Y'all held it down. Y'all was definitely one of my top favorite shows to watch with anything to do with the NBA, from Ernie to Kenny to Shaq, Chuck, everybody that, contributed. And I know a lot of the people behind the scenes and the producers and everybody, man. Salute to y'all. Hell of a job. We enjoyed it. And we hope it gets to continue. But if not, so super salute to y'all, man.
Man, you grow up watching shows and it's your favorite show, but this show has probably lasted longer than any show I ever watched in my life.
Crazy.
Like I don't know nothing but this show. You had the Martin shows, they go off, the Cosby shows, they go off, your
Yeah.
cartoons, you don't watch them no more. But this show I've been literally watching for 30 years. Like I really been paying attention to like this show. One of my favorite shows. It's a Emmy award winning show. I just hate to
Yeah.
see how it's about to leave us, man. And they still on top, and it's just because of contracts
That's the
and
part too.
networks that you just gotta let it go. You gotta let a number one award winning show just go like that. But shout out to Ernie. I grew up with Ernie. Shout out to Kenny. Shout out to Charles. Shout out to Shaq. Shout out to all the lovely people and the good people that work at Turner. The time that I went up there, a few times I went up there, man, they treated me like family. I hate to see this come to an end, but thank you. That's why I want to say just thank you for raising me and really keeping me up on this game and entertaining me too. I got so many memories from the show, and having the opportunity to even be on the show is just a dream come true. So thank you, and I'm sad to see it go.
Straight up, man. Random stat of the week, Black. The Boston Celtics advanced to the conference/division finals for the 39th time.
Hmm.
That's more than half of all the East finals ever.
Hmm.
Like, that's just what Boston damn does.
Yeah, that's that's crazy. That's a crazy stat. It's crazy to see, man. Me being a Jason Tatum fan because he's from the hometown. It's amazing and it's crazy to see he's being in contention every single year to win a championship.
Yeah.
So I can't wait till he finally get him a ring, bring it back home. But it's crazy to see them going to what was it, 6 conference finals in the last 7 years or something like that, 8 years or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the Celtics pride, man. You know that's why they got all them banners in their arena. Man, they doing their thing.
Straight up. What's your shout out of the day, Black? Shout out of the day.
Man, shout out again to the WNBA. That
Hey.
lonely day I had Monday with no NBA games, man, the WNBA filled that void. Shout out to them, man. I'm so excited for this season, man. We're seeing some good hoop. The only thing I got bad to say about the WNBA is it seem like they playing the same team over and over again. And I know it's just because they only have 12
Yeah, they
teams.
need more
They
teams.
need more teams. So man, if cities out there, man, owners out there, man, get you a
Toronto
WNBA
jumped
team.
in.
Yeah, Toronto done
Golden
jumped in,
State.
man. We need to get us a good 20 to 30 teams, man, real quick. So you can really see the flavor and the talent that these women have
Because
because
a lot of them get let go because there's not enough spots on the
yeah, it's
team.
not
So it's a
enough
lot of
spots.
girls out there that could be playing that's not able to play just
Yeah,
due to
because
lack of teams.
yeah, it's just that's the only thing I got to say about the NBA that I just feel like, man, it seems like they're just playing the same team over and over again. But we got to get more teams, man. We got to support more, man. I think we're going in the right direction. The hoop is phenomenal. What they doing? Shout
Yes,
out to
sir.
Copper, man. Back to back 35 game, 35-point game. I mean, back to back 30 games, and that haven't been done in a while in the
In the
WNBA, and
W.
that's dope to see her doing her thing, leaving Chicago, going to Phoenix, and doing her thing over there, man. It's a talented league, man, and I'm just glad that we get the opportunity to really see it. Shout out to the networks that now we can see them on TV easy. We get the opportunity to check
Yeah.
them out. It's not hard, or we don't got to
Hmm.
search for it. Man, shout out to everything they doing. They going in the right direction. So shout out to WNBA.
Yes, sir. Hey, my shout out, man. I want to give a shout out to Jason Kidd, bro. I feel like that he don't really get enough appreciation for the job he's doing as a head coach. Like I feel like even when we go back as far as to Giannis Antetokounmpo, I can make I feel like I can make an argument that if J Kidd don't put him at the point and don't tell him how great he could be, that we may never see Giannis as for what he has become to this day because Jay Kidd put that ball in his hand and forced him to learn on the job, threw him right in the fire. And who knows if he progresses to the point that he began to progress to, if not for Jay Kidd
Yeah.
doing what he did with him. And fast forward to now, I mean, obviously he did a great job in Brooklyn and all those other things, but fast forward to now with Kyrie and Luca, him making that thing work the way he's made it work, and like you listen to the comments and things that's being said about Kyrie and opposed to what was previously being said to him. Like, bro, you and I know personally from being players that played in the league, like when you get a coach that embraces you, that brings you in and accepts you and knows and lets you be who you are, but also coaches you and challenges you and does the right things and talks to you and handles you the right way in that environment. Got to give a shout out to Nico Harrison too, because he had privy of having a prior relationship with Kyrie from him being a big boss at Nike and Kyrie being one of the biggest Nike athletes. And so he knew how to deal with Kyrie and to make him feel welcome. And that's one of the things that you've heard Kyrie say throughout the season. This team, this organization, the players, everybody, they embrace me for who I am and they welcomed him with open arms. So like I just feel like J Kidd really don't get the just due when you come to, coaches being great and being a genius and being brilliant, like not only for the game, but just like that's the type of teammate he was. That's why he was a great point guard because point guards are extensions of coaches and they job is to have the heartbeat and the pulse of the team and to know different personalities and make it work. And I feel like you seeing all that on full display with Jay Kidd and what he's been able to do with this team, with the the organization and Nico and bringing in the right pieces, but obviously everybody know that the heart and soul in it is starting and stop with Kyrie and Luca, and you see them two, their relationship is harmonious at this point. And it, when last year when everything people was asking questions and this, that, and the third, but nobody not giving the same love that they was giving to the negative when they thought it was going bad for him. So I just want to salute Jay Kidd, man. I feel like he's always been a great coach, and I feel like he deserves his just due.
Yeah, Kyrie said some key words last night. He said J Kidd had them long film sessions, but what he do, he get teammates to talk to teammates and communicate more, and men to talk to men. And that's something the hardest thing that you can do to get that communication open. And he gave J Kidd a lot of love for that, man. So it's just dope to see what the position they in from not being in the playoffs last year to really competing this
Exactly.
year.
Yeah, man. So that's it. That's a tap in, man. We gonna be right back at y'all during these finals, man. Headed on to the NBA finals. It's the best and worst time of the year at the same time because it's the championship time, but it's the end of it. So we gonna love and hate this time at the same time. We'll be tapping in with y'all next time.